Welcome back, Patriots, for another episode of the Bald Brad Show, where we cover all the news that you need to go and know about, read about, listen about, everything about before going to work, heading into your day. We give a conservative bias spin on it. That's really it, actually. And, I made a bunch of videos this weekend. More like TikTok short form videos. And one of them was roasting Democrats. Now, I love comedy. I love to laugh. I love to joke around. I don't take jokes too seriously. I have thick skin. And I had a lot of fun doing it. I've never tried comedy before. I never tried writing jokes before. So it was the first time I've ever done something like that. And so we took a shot in the dark. And I thought some of it landed. I thought some of it was actually pretty funny. So I roasted Bernie Sanders and Nancy Pelosi. If you haven't seen that clip, it's in the shorts. You should really go check it out because I think you might get a laugh out of it. But you just know there's always a Democrat. There's always some sort of progressive that has their pigtails twined too tight. Their women's underwear is riding up their crotch too much. And they just got to come in the comment section. They don't, folks, really. The Democrat Party and the progressive left do not have a sense of humor. They don't. They're not fun to be around. They're not having fun. We are. We're having a great time. And the guy writes, he goes, is that all you have is criticisms about what they look like? I'm like, think in my head, I'm like, dude, they're jokes. They're literally jokes. You can laugh, giggle, chuckle, you know. It's just, they have no sense of humor. They're not fun to be around. They're not fun to be around at all. So, they just don't get it. Is that all you have? The criticism of their faces? Mind you, my whole channel is criticisms about the Democrat Party. Just a heads up. And very rarely do I actually talk about what they look like and everything like that. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Anyways, enough of that. I hope you all had a lovely weekend. It is Memorial Day. You got to remember those that serve, folks. Those that made the ultimate sacrifice. And with that being said, let's jump right into the news. We have this taking place. Donald Trump is not happy with Vladimir Putin. Trump is not happy. He's kind of pissed. Trump says he's not happy with Putin after massive Ukraine strike. Putin bombed the nothing out of Ukraine. So President Donald Trump told journalists that he was not happy with Russia's recent large-scale strike against Ukraine while speaking to the press on Sunday. Speaking to reporters at the airport, Trump accused Putin of killing a lot of people in the attack, which was launched on Sunday afternoon. I'm not happy with what Putin is doing, Trump explained. He's killing a lot of people, and I don't know what the hell happened to Putin. I've known him a long time, always gotten along with him, but he's sending rockets into cities and killing people, and I don't like that at all. Trump said that Putin was shooting rockets into Kyiv and other cities in the middle of negotiations. I don't like what Putin is doing, not even a little bit, the president emphasized. He's killing people, and something happened to this guy. Trump's comments came after Vladimir Putin's forces launched hundreds of drones and missiles at Ukrainian cities overnight. The attack, which has been called the largest aerial attack of the war so far, targeted the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv. Ukrainian officials said at least 12 people were killed and dozens were injured. Though past strikes have proven more deadly, the attack is the largest scale aerial assault of the war in terms of number of weapons. 298 drones and 69 missiles were launched. In a posted telegram, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky called for an international response to the attack. The silence of America, the silence of others in the world only encourages Putin. You know what? I mean, again, it's always odd to me that when somebody doesn't go in to a war to help somebody else, that they're automatically silent. I mean, bro, we gave you $200 billion plus of stuff. Mind you, I would say all of us here on the Western Hemisphere, or at least, North America, South America, we should be the last people to do anything for this whole thing. I would say those in European Union and all the countries over there, the other half of the world, maybe they should be the ones to kind of get into the mix here if they would like to, because they're the ones that are kind of being pushed up against, not us. And the reason why I say this is if you look at history, World War II, I mean, Churchill was begging FDR, pleading with FDR to get into the war. And FDR said, no, Americans don't want to do it. They don't want to get involved. And Churchill was getting his, you know what, pushed in. Oh, big time. So were the Russians. It's not uncommon for the United States not to want to go into other people's war. We've just made it somewhat common because we started dipping our toes into everything. And some people could say that's Republicans' fault, and I would actually agree with them to a certain extent. Republicans got a little bit too feisty for a while, and now we've reverted back to our old selves. We're like, hey, let's just chill out for a little bit here and let other people figure out their own stuff. We got our own stuff to figure out, man. I hate that when you start getting into other people's drama and you haven't figured out your own drama. It's like, shut up and sit down, figure your own stuff out for a bit. I'm trying not to cuss. It's hard. I'm trying. Remember that was supposed to be our New Year's resolution, but I wasn't going to cuss on the show. And that ended in like the same day of this resolution. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. It says Zelensky tried to shoot down the helicopter that Putin was on with a drone. Zelensky wants more money. That clown needs to go. No more bar, nightclubs, and ski slopes. That is true. If you actually, it's funny that Peggy brings it up because if you do look at video in Ukraine, you got all these young people going to clubs and bars and living as if, they're not being invaded. I find that kind of interesting. Look, it's like the size of a state, folks. It's not like our country where, let's say we were being invaded on the East Coast over there. You'd probably still see people in like Arizona, Nevada, Colorado, even going to nightclubs and bars. Yeah, we're a massive country. Ukraine isn't. Well, speaking of the European Union, Ukraine, Russia, other stuff. Well, we also have 50% tariffs on EU after its leader blinks. So he's delaying the 50% tariffs. President Donald Trump announced on Sunday that he is pushing back the deadline to raise tariffs on imports from the EU after a conversation with its leader, who says more time is needed to hash out a good deal. In a post on Truth Social, Trump shared that the deadline of June 1st to raise the tariff rate from 10% to 50%, which he floated on Friday, would be delayed until July 9th. The president said he decided to delay the tariffs after receiving a call from European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. Honestly, that's actually a pretty tough name to pronounce early in the morning. I received a call from Ursula. God, dude. I just automatically go to, what's that Disney movie? Little Mermaid. That name bugs me. I don't like it. Sorry if your name's Ursula in the chat. It's just a rough one. It's a real rough one. The president of the European Commission requested an extension on the June 1st deadline on the 50% tariffs. With respect to trade and the European Union, Trump said, I agree to the extension on July 9th. It was my privilege to do so. The commission president said that talks will begin rapidly. Isn't this lady the one that Trump kind of liked and you could tell that they were getting along? Let me see for a second here if this is the lady that I'm thinking of. Because if it is, I could see why Trump would want to. Yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure this is the lady that Trump was getting along with. I can't remember. There was a lady in the Oval Office. He's like, I like her. And she was laughing. She was smiling with Trump. She was having a good old time. Von der Leyen said she had a good call with Trump in a post on X. The EU and US share the world's most consequential and close trade relationship. Europe is ready to advance talks swiftly and decisively to reach a good deal. We would need the time until July 9th. Do you want to know why certain countries still exist to the way that they are now? It's because of us. A lot of it's just because of us. And I'm going to say this again. These countries puff out their chest like they're actually some world superpower. It's like, the guys will get this. The ladies, I think you'll get this somewhat as well. When you got a hunk of a man next to you, right? It's your husband, it's your boyfriend, hell, it's just a guy you're hooking up with. It don't matter. And, the girl's a little bit snappy, a little bit running her mouth a little bit too much because she has a hunk in front of her. Now, she's going to go run her mouth to everybody and everybody. Doesn't matter who it is. Doesn't matter if they're bigger than her boyfriend, husband, guy she's dating or not. She's just going to run her mouth at the bar. Because at the end of the day, she knows that she's not going to get her tush kicked. She might get punched, slapped a little bit, hair thrown around. Doesn't matter. but it's going to be her boyfriend or husband or the guy that's going to have to get in the mix because he's the muscle. He's the burly dude. It's the same way here. The European Union's our chick, and she's running her mouth a little bit too much. And what's going to happen is the United States, the burly hunk, right? The guy, going to have to step in and put somebody where, you know, in their place. If you're going, Brad, did you just say that the European Union's our bitch? You're damn right I did, and that was a salute. The Bald Brad Show, don't you have a life? I don't. My life's hanging out with you people. And George. You people and George. George is in his own separate category. George isn't a person. George, we don't know what you are, my friend, but we love you nonetheless. George's like that autistic kid that shows up to family parties. We love him. We absolutely adore him. Like, hey, George, how's it going, buddy? You doing good in school? No, I love you, man. It's good seeing you. More news we have here today. An American citizen was arrested, so it looks like things are being done here. But what was he arrested for, you might add? God, you know, people get arrested all the time. Well, he was charged in a plot to firebomb the U.S. Embassy in Israel. Oh, this is nice. Oh, this is great. On Sunday, FBI agents at John F. Kennedy International Airport in New York City arrested a 28-year-old man charged with attempting to destroy, by means of fire or explosive, a United States Embassy office in Tel Aviv, Israel, according to federal authorities. I mean, how many plots has Kash Patel and Dan Bongino found out about and actually acted upon now? It almost, I mean, look, it could be one of those things that it's just actually popping up in the news, and this is something that's been happening for a while. The reason why I want to take this with a grain of salt in what I'm saying is they're doing the same thing, the media, with planes going down. And if you look at the data of the planes, it's not really all that different than what happens in a traditional year. It's just that they're bringing light to it. And when you bring light to something on the internet, it seems like it's just happening all around, like the world's ending, that planes are just falling out of the sky left and right when nothing's really changed. You're just bringing light to it. It could be the same thing here, where this is just actually normal. The FBI has been arresting these people with charges of plots against Israelis in American soil or foreign soil, or plots against the president or some congresswoman. It doesn't matter who it is. They could be doing this all along, but they're just, now that it's being brought to light more and more, it seems like it's happening more and more. Maybe it's not. Joseph Niemeyer, who is a dual citizen of both the United States and Germany, was initially arrested in Israel and deported to the United States. What? I was told we can't deport people back to their home country. I was told due process. Did he get due process? Did he get due process? He then received a detention order from U.S. Magistrate Judge Peggy Kuo of the Eastern District of New York. According to the press release posted by the Department of Justice, the individual arrived in Israel in April, and his first documented interaction with Israeli authorities came on May 19th, when he allegedly spat on a embassy guard. Wow. As alleged in the complaint, the individual arrived in Israel in April 2025. On May 19th, the dude arrived outside of the U.S. Embassy in Tel Aviv carrying a dark-colored backpack. Without provocation, the dude spit on an embassy guard as he walked past. The individual managed to break free as the guard attempted to detain him, leaving behind his backpack. A search of the backpack revealed 3 rudimentary improvised incendiary devices, commonly known as Movtel cocktails. Oh, lovely. That's a good guy. Yeah, look at how he's just trying to make things better. He's spitting on people, and he's going to light things on fire. The individual's social media revealed earlier that day, he said, "Join me as I burn down the embassy in Tel Aviv. Death to America, death to Americans, and F the West." There is a common theme. I'm just going to say it. From what I've seen, there's a common theme with these people that also not only want to get rid of Israel, but America as well. It's like they go hand in hand. And if you think that if they were to destroy, let's just say that they got their way and that they destroyed Israel, they don't have to deal with the Jews anymore. Who do you think they're going to still target next? Western countries. We'll leave it at that. Western countries. That could be England, the United Kingdom. That could be Canada. It could be the United States. It all depends. But they don't like our culture. They don't like who we are. And that's why when you bring in certain people in the United States, and by the way, it doesn't have to be Middle Eastern people, it could be anybody from around the world. When you have people that immigrate to another country and don't assimilate to their creeds and values, or sometimes even are raised like this individual seems to be in the United States without properly inheriting the creed and value system of said country that you are born and raised in, that's when you have a country that falls apart from the inside out. That's what we see here. This is what happens when you teach kids wrongly in the education system and at home. You teach them to hate the country they grew up in, which is a large swath of our young people nowadays. And I love how I say, "Oh, our youngsters," when I'm 36. Law enforcement authorities confirmed the presence of the flammable fluid in the devices. Other social media posts from an account believed to be used by the individual revealed his threats to assassinate President Donald Trump. There you go. It always goes hand in hand. There you go. You're waiting. It's almost like you're waiting for something more, right? It's like, yeah, Mocktail cocktails. I feel like the guy's done something else, right? I feel like the guy's done a little something else, a little odd. Well, here's a guy that's done something else. George, you sweet, beautiful, bald guy. I don't know if George is bald or not, but thank you so much for the 10 gifted memberships, sir. A lot of people grabbed those up. Shout out to George in the chat, both on YouTube and Rumble. The guy's been a longtime supporter of the Bald Brad Show. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for that and hooking those people up. So let's see who got them. Angie got them. David, Krager, Marge, Jess the Frog Channel. I like that one. Dan Hall, Brian Mack. Brian's been a long time supporter of the show. Shout out to Brian. Mike, Yorktown, Colette. I like the name Colette. Angel, got it. Oh, wait, no, Angel's already a member. Angel, you got a shout out. You don't need one. Angel doesn't need one, but Angel has the Don't Tread on Me badge, which is freaking awesome. It's one of my favorites. All righty, let's see what else we have in the news today. Let's go to more of the chat. It's Memorial Day. We could take it kind of a little bit easier. They hate Christians. That is true as well. Said to hate people you haven't met. Yeah. Which is a pretty hard thing to do. It's like kind of like when we talk about Iran, it almost seems like I'm talking about the people of Iran, but I'm not. I'm just talking about the government Iran. And by the way, I've met some Iranians here in the United States. Extremely nice people. Now, is obviously every Iranian a nice person? No, but you get that in every country, including our own. There's a lot of people that aren't nice here. They're called progressive lefties. And look, there's people like that on the Republican side of the aisle, right? There's some people that we got cracked out of their mind on our side of the aisle here. Let's be fair. We've all seen some even MAGA people were like, okay, bro, like chill out, dude. You're a little off. But the government in Iran is just, they are so far gone. And they go with what that individual wanted to do. That is an American citizen arrested for that plot. They want death to America, death to Israel. They want death to everybody. It's just wild, wild ideology. Something we covered in our YouTube shorts yesterday, but also on TikTok. Again, if you're not following me in either, highly recommend that you follow me on YouTube and TikTok, because I've been posting, and I think I'm going to do this a little bit more over the summer, is I'm going to be posting videos throughout the day that are about news articles such as like this. And they're only like a minute and a half long. So you can get a really good story in about a minute and a half that will pop up in your feed if you follow me. So you have leftist Hassan Piker booted from Twitch over remarks about DC terror attack. Now, this individual is I believe the nephew of Cenk Uygur of the Young Turks. I think I had that right. I don't know him all that well. He is a streamer on Twitch. I don't know if he plays video games or he just talks, but I'd imagine he plays some video games. He's a self-proclaimed socialist, I believe. And, well, he has been known, and I only know this because I see clips popping up, he's been known to say things that's kind of walking that fine line that I've described about of, well, I support people that do terroristic acts, but I don't like terrorism. He's like kind of like one of those people. And what I mean by that is, remember how I said when you had the October 7th attack on Israel, where Hamas went in and slaughtered like 1,200 people, which is just evil. And then Israel went back and kind of just ripped them a new one. And a lot of Palestinians died of it, which is terrible, or died because of it. And I said, I see a lot of these pro-Palestinians going on Piers Morgan, going on podcasts, doing interviews, making videos themselves, that were walking a fine line to the point where it was, I do support terrorism, but I'm not going to have the balls to say it out loud. So I'm just going to kind of navigate around that road of, well, I'm going to let you read between the lines. Do you know what I mean by that? I think everybody does. We've all talked to people that are like that, where they're not willing to say it, but they're definitely saying it. I'll give you another example. Let's say you were to do like something unethical at work. Let's say I'll do something even different. Let's say me as an educator, this kid's not passing, right? But he's a sports athlete. Like he's the number one athlete in the school. And he has a D in my class, and they need to get him to a C so he keeps a scholarship and he can go to college, let's just say for the sake of the argument. And admin would come in and go, well, what are you going to do about it, Brad? I mean, I'm not going to do anything about it. What are you talking about? And the admin goes, well, we got to do something here. Like, what do you mean? Like, the guy hasn't done any work. Like, he deserves the D. I'm gonna give him the D grade that he deserves. Well, I'm not really into that. I think we should do something different here. I think we should help him. Let's help him get to that C. But he doesn't deserve it. So what? And the conversation will keep going, right? But what they're implying is give the guy the grade, and sooner or later it just kind of slips out every now and then, going, hey, give him the grade. Brad is mansplaining, exactly. But it's very, to be all serious right now, to be all serious. These people do it, man. And it's the wildest thing to me to watch, because it's gaslighting you to almost the highest level that you can in that form. And what I mean by that is, when you call them out on what they really believe, or what it seems like, then they'll gaslight you and say that's not what they believe, and that you're making it all up and that you're gaslighting them. Well, streaming platform Twitch suspended leftist streamer Hassan Piker after he suggested that the Washington, D.C. terror attack that killed 2 Israeli embassy staff looked like a false flag incident. Piker posted about his suspicion on Saturday, along with a screenshot of a message, from Twitch, explaining that his account has been temporarily suspended over improper handling of terrorist propaganda. I covered the motives of the Israel embassy staff shooter. Twitch terms of service dictates a suspension for even critical examination of the manifesto. I believe this as a bad policy for news and press freedom. I'll take the suspension, but hope Twitch changes this policy in the future. The suspension came after Piker, whose Twitch account has over 2.8 million followers, said that the DC terror attack that took place on Wednesday night had all the hallmarks of a false flag operation. Based on what I've seen from Hassan Piker, I've seen clip after clip. I've seen Asmon Gold cover him. I've seen, was it HGH or whatever, H3N3? I forgot the guy's name. Something Klein, or I can't remember his name. Again, I don't follow all these people. I did watch videos of them bringing up videos of Hassan Piker. Basically seems like supporting terrorism in my mind. From the clips that they were being pulled, and look, they could be taken out of context, but man, I've seen a lot of wish-washy from this guy. And I mean, I've seen a lot of things of him saying basically he supports Hamas, basically, if you read between the lines. A false flag is an incident staged to lay the blame on a particular person or group. In this case, conspiracy theorists have claimed that the terror attack in Washington was carried out to portray the Free Palestine movement badly. I'm not Mr. False Flag at all, but like every single thing that he did in the aftermath of the shooting is so effing crazy that it's like, you could not have designed a effing incident like this. You could not have designed a better false flag incident like this, Piker said, referring to the alleged shooter. I'm not saying it is a false flag incident at all. I'm not saying that. I think this is just one dude who genuinely, in his actions, and maybe, a little bit brain broken. Okay. So there we are. It's a false flag, but it's not a false flag, right? You should let the kid pass, but you shouldn't let him pass. You should give him more work, but I'm going to tell you not to give him more work. I think Hamas had the right to do what they had to do because of what Israel was doing to them, but I don't support terrorism. Do you see the wish-washy that goes on here, and you have to read between the lines on everything these people are saying? Because they're not consistent. I don't like terrorism, but hey, you know what? America deserved its 9/11 terrorist attacks, right? It's a crazy thing. It's a crazy thing. The New York Times recently profiled Piker as a progressive media mind in a body made for the manosphere, suggesting that he could help liberals rebound their young men that have been lost by Democrats. If you think this is a guy that should be followed by young men, you got another thing coming to you. This guy's head is so spinning. He's a self-proclaimed socialist, but everything he does is in the form of a capitalist. Again, it's just like another reed in the wind, man. It came even though Piker has a history of making controversial statements. In 2019, Piker said in one of his streams that the United States deserved the 9/11 attacks. Wild. But this is who the young men of the progressive left want to follow, I suppose. And look, I'm not even saying they should follow me. I don't think really anybody should follow me. I just on here spewing a bunch of news, and whoever enjoys, they can follow. America's foreign policy decisions have led to 9/11. This would have been a controversial thing to say in 2001. Stop being a bleeping idiot, he said in a follow-up social media post. So you can kind of see how this individual thinks. It's crazy. Now, here's the tough thing. Should he have been banned? Through freedom of speech, does he have a right to go on social media and spew a bunch of nonsense? Truthfully, yeah. But we all have succumbed to big tech and the censorship of them. And you know who wanted this? You want to know who wanted this kind of censorship? The progressive left. So now it's just come around and smack them right over in their own damn faces. So you know what? I don't care anymore. Good. You got banned for like 24 hours because you said some stupid stuff. We've all been flagged by you nut jobs of the progressive left on TikTok and social media. We've also been banned and removed for saying that men are men and women are women, and you can't transform into something else. You can't be a transformer. You can't shapeshift and be a mythic creature of shapeshifting, that you see in movies like Supernatural and the paranormal stuff. You can't do that. But when we say the obvious, we get banned. So. Now you have a AOC shredded for her anti-Semitic posts here. Representative AOC received harsh backlash after posting about a terror attack outside the Capitol Jewish Museum in Washington, very similar to what Hassan Piker was just talking about. The New York Democrat condemned the attack and anti-Semitism, but here we go. You got to love how they do this, right? Let's just see. I haven't read this article, but when there's a but in there, I'm hearing that. Let's see. Is it going to be that they deserved it? Is that what it is? Is it? Oh well, it's terrible. I condemn the attacks, but they deserved it. Let's see. So where was I? The New York Democrat condemned the attack and anti-Semitism, but her message was rejected by many who pointed to her past remarks on the war in Gaza. AOC has repeatedly made unsubstantiated accusations against Israel for committing genocide in its war against the terror group Hamas. Absolutely nothing justifies the murder of innocents. I am devastated by the killing of 2 people outside of the global event here in Washington. Our prayers are with the victims, families, and loved ones of all impacted. As we await more details, we must be clear that hatred has no home here. Anti-Semitism is a threat to all who hold dear as a society. It must be confronted and rooted out everywhere. Which isn't a bad post to make. I'll be honest, it's not a bad post to make. But let's see what she said in the past. Commentators ripped her for her hypocrisy. One quipped on the Congresswoman's post, March Lighter condemns Blaze. What the? Arson, CEO of the International Legal Forum, responded to AOC, 2 people. They were 2 Jews, and more specifically, worked at the Israeli embassy. These are pertinent details. Maybe you ought to be more mindful of your relentless inflammatory rhetoric that only emboldens the kinds of perpetrators from tonight's heinous attacks. The fact that she didn't put the word Jews in there doesn't really bother me too much. I get it, what this individual is trying to say, but who knows who wrote? She might not even have wrote that post. She might have had some staffer do it for her. Who the heck knows? American Principles Project President Terry Schillings called on AOC to apologize for her past rhetoric against Israel, You need to apologize for your complicity, sarcastic terrorism and all. Stephen Miller, who we love here, contributing editor to The Spectator, pointed out that according to the FBI, the shooter yelled "Free Palestine" after killing Israeli individuals there. AOC often expressed sympathy and support for the Free Palestine cause. In 2019, AOC excused violence from Palestinians against Israel by accusing Israel of occupation in Judea and Samaria, where terrorism is prevalent through Palestinian society. I just want to point out, I mean, it goes on and on, folks, by the way. It literally goes on and on and on, just from her post that she's made. Again, I've brought this up in the past, man. It is the weirdest thing to me that no other countries in the area want to take in Palestinians. Does nobody find that odd? That all the surrounding countries, I'm talking every single one of them, is nope. I don't want a single one. It's the oddest thing, man. And again, it could just be coming from ignorance of my part, and I'm more than happy to plead ignorance because, quite frankly, about that region, I'm very ignorant on. Dude, Trump had to beg, I think it was Jordan, had to beg Jordan to take in sick children. They won't even take in the Palestinian children. And I don't know if because they think that they're terrorists as well, like they'll be utilized as that. I don't know, man. But there ain't a single country in that area is willing to take in any of the Palestinians. It is, you gotta, at least it has to like pique your interest, right? Of like, well, you guys kind of follow the same faith for the most part around there. I mean, I understand there's like differences in faith in the same way there's differences in Christianity and Catholicism, but I mean, Christians and Catholics will take in each other. Hell, they'll take in really almost anybody, but really, you're not going to take in. Okay. I'm questioning as to why. That's all. Just asking questions here. And, sometimes when you ask questions, people get upset. And what do I mean by that? Well, Samantha Hernandez was in Chicago. She's in Chicago. And dozens of residents filled in the city's Federal Plaza on May 25th to commemorate the 5th anniversary of George Floyd's controversial death that sparked widespread protests and riots across the nation. Mind you, nobody was arrested. People were deleted. People were burning down businesses and buildings, cities. But remember, we're the violent people, because you had a few hundred people storm a Capitol. All the while, you had thousands of people burning down cities and causing $5 billion in damages. So these supporters were asked about the medical examiner's autopsy report circulating on social media that points to a potential lethal dose of fentanyl in his body at the time. Now, this is not news to most of us, but this is not a potential lethal dose of fentanyl. This is a lethal dose of fentanyl. No life-threatening injuries identified. Now, this is not news to anybody that's been familiar with this. Well, let's see what these people have to say, because I'm telling you, they're going to be like, oh, no, it was the officer or something like that, right? Officer's knee or something.
People are posting this today. It's page 2 of George Floyd's autopsy report stating that he did not die of life-threatening injuries, but instead that he died of fentanyl. What are your thoughts on that?
It's bullshit. Bringing up the fentanyl thing is up.
I also want to point out all these same people are the people that told us to follow the science for years, to get the jab, right? Lock down, bunker in, you're going to kill somebody. These are all the same people. All of them. Same exact individuals. Follow the science. But when you show them the science, you actually show it to them. It's BS. That ain't real.
Autopsy report that says there's fentanyl in his system. Why is that relevant to anything?
It's so important for white people not forget George Floyd.
I am a white woman and I have privilege, so I want to be able to show up in these spaces and make sure that other communities are safe and have the level of safety that I have always been afforded in my life.
Well, look.
All the while, give it. It's like it's seasonal with these people. At some point, she'll be on a college campus saying that there's rape culture being spewed on these college campuses, and she's no longer safe. As a woman, she's no longer safe. But at the same time, she has privilege and she is safe. Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Fentanyl is an issue. Fentanyl is a problem. So whether he was on fentanyl overdose or he was last breath choked to death, regardless, it's an issue.
I think it's untrue and propaganda that he died from a fentanyl overdose.
He was a person. He's a human being. And I feel like me.
No way. You're a Herman Bean.
He died from a fentanyl overdose.
He was a person. He's a human being. And I feel like me as a person, I feel like everybody deserved to be treated like a human being. He couldn't breathe. So, like I was saying earlier, there's two parts to every story.
Let's just pretend that, like, it was from the drug. Let's just pretend, right? Who cares? That's exactly, like, that's not how he died, you know?
America is still racist. America was racist even more than what it exhibits today.
Everybody's got.
What an insane statement.
Was racist even more than what it exhibits today.
Everybody's got some.
That dude is straight up saying that America is more racist today than any other time in our history. What? What?
Thing, and they dig it up and they blow it out of proportion. Maybe he did have fentanyl in his system. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
What do you think about people still sharing this type of narrative about his death in 2025?
I think either they're really naive, that's the best of them, and the rest of them are white supremacists who don't want people of color to be treated with freedom.
It's 20.
We're going to go back just really quick here. You might be wondering, Brad, did you put that in slow motion? Snicker don't want to be here, Smo. No, that's just how she talks. This is basically, close your eyes, this is Joe Biden if he were president today.
The rest of them are white supremacists who don't want people of color to be treated with freedom.
It's 2025. Like, are we fucking kidding right now?
Do you feel like if George Floyd was white, the narrative surrounding his death would be different?
Absolutely. And you know what? Everyone would know. Like, I mean, everyone knows about George Floyd, but, like, absolutely, that's a great question.
Justice for
everyone would know. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, everyone would know. Sure. People, man, I'm telling you, they live under a rock. I don't know what's wrong with them. I don't know when they were kicked in the head. That one lady, something's wrong with. I don't know if she was on fentanyl or what. But they're still wearing masks outside, by the way. So here's Seattle Police Department makes another arrest as they establish a perimeter between hundreds of far-left militants and attendees of a praise and worship gathering hosted by Mayday USA at this Anderson Park. So I'm going to show you a few clips of this. Here we go. There's a few clips here. People getting arrested. This is, they almost look like Antifa. You know, you got the Joker over here with the dyed hair.
Yep, backing up.
The cops are heroes, but the Antifa, well.
Backing up. Multiple arrests. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people arrested. Multiple Antifa militants, maybe another one here.
What the hell is this thing?
Get behind the bikes. Hey, who are you? Any comments, sir? What's going on here?
That's all we're doing. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thank you, sir. That's the latest from SPD right now. The men and women of SPD doing their job. Think about the risks they're taking right now, just trying to keep the peace here at Cal Anderson Park. Again, today started off with a peaceful Christian rally to stand with children against transgender ideology. Dozens of Antifa militants dressed up in black bloc now trying to disrupt pushing cops, fighting. Absolutely insane melee here right now. There
crazy.
are brawls happening. I can't keep track of what's happening, what's where. This is all being live streamed. Multiple. Guys, we got a huge brawl going on. Antifa and police. I know you're following. We got arrests happening right now. Antifa militants.
This is why I don't go to these events. If they're willing to attack a police officer, what do you think they're willing to do to you when there's no police around? And even if there are. Like, you know that this guy was just walking by him right here? Shady dude, hands in pockets. If this was me, that, like, kudos to the guy filming this. Like, kudos to him. If this was me, I don't know if this guy has a sharp object. I don't know if he has a firearm. I don't know if he has a chemical substance. Truthfully, I don't want to find out. I just wouldn't put myself in that position in that area. A lot of people have asked me to do honest interviews because it would be pretty funny, to be quite frank, me talking to people, getting facial reactions to the camera and, you know, screwing with them a little bit because they're stupid. And you can have a lot of fun dealing with stupid people. I would know. I worked retail for a lot of years. But these people will kill you in a moment. All it takes is just, even if they weren't trying to, all it takes is one slip up and they hit an artery or something like that. And well, you're done. All because you wanted to make a stupid fucking YouTube video. Yeah, sorry. My life is worth a lot more than a YouTube video. Let me tell you, I'd be out of there so quick.
I know you're following. We got arrests happening right now. Antifa militants. Multiple people being arrested right now. Get out of here. Police Antifa.
What you want? What you want? What you gonna do?
Wow, we got some arrests going down here. Antifa militants being arrested now. Wow.
Police
dozens of arrests
brutality.
today, guaranteed.
I think in situations like this, cops should 100% be able to utilize, I think, paintball guns. Throw a little bit of bear mace pellets in there, just pop, 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 and just start spraying them in the face with, paintballs, but not with paint, but with mace. Like Dog the Bounty Hunter. I'm the dog, the big bad dog. I'm the bounty hunter. Oh, wow. This is taking you back to the 90s, huh? Like some 41 days. Where are you? I'm Antifa. I think that trans people are real. Where are you? I'm so emo. Look at this, huh? Okay, if you had to guess. If you just had to guess. Right? You got the jacket from Goodwill, ripped the buttons off, probably out of anger and frustration because she was born with a pee-pee. I guess he was born with a pee-pee. Wearing a mask outside. Outside. I don't know what it is with lesbians and the buzz cuts. I don't understand it. You can just identify them in the wild, man. The buzz cut with the colored hair. Tatted up, right? You got the belly bulging down here a little bit because she can't get in shape because she's too busy eating her freaking bonbons and Twinkies in the bed crying about her life. Jesus. What am I looking at here? All right. Looks like it pops off here. There you go. And did I not call it? That was the person. That was the person in the jacket that I said. See that guy put here? I want to show you something. See this guy right here? He's doing it wrong. He's doing it wrong. Right? He's taking the nightstick, right? And pushing them back, right? Right there. You see that? Pushing them back. You know what I would do? I would take that nightstick. I wish I had. Hold on a second. I got something here. We'll use my tripod. This is my nightstick. Now I'm going to show you how it's done, boys. Come here. Daddy Bear's going to show you something. My nightstick, right? I'm not pushing him back like this. You see that? Good grip, good stance, right? He has the left foot forward. He's putting his whole weight into it. Nobody's arguing that. It's good. Now, you see this? Just, now, the retractable is what you want. You can't get these anymore. They're aftermarket, boys, okay? Now, what you want to do is you really want to tighten this sucker up, right? Really bring her in for the pain. It's just like you were to go boxing or playing baseball. Okay, you want to get the elbows out like this. You know what I mean? You get the stance. You get this. There's going to be a point to this, I promise. Come here. You bring this in, right? And you want to make sure wherever the most girthy part is, I said that word for George specifically, girthy George. You really just wind up and just bam, right here. Not here, not here, right here. And yes, that was a Tommy Boy reference at the end. You're welcome. And you just clock them. You just clock them with your nightstick. I want them on the floor waking up in a few hours going, what year is it?
You're gonna push back. They're getting pushed back. This is the concert stage. SPD's moving in now, creating the perimeter. They've been warned numerous times. The far left activists.
That person just got punched in the face. I love it. I love it. Look, I don't like Antifa at all. They harm journalists. They went after Andy No. They're attacking people. I mean, I could show you clip after clip, folks. There's just nothing but arrests happening here at this place. Look at all this. Look at these psychos. These Antifa members. You know, while you got them on the ground, just rain a couple elbows on their head. You know what I mean? Rough them up a little. Oh, there you go. There's another one asking for the assassination of Donald Trump. They're always out here. What is up with the freaking liberal white women, man? Freaking daddy issues or something. I don't know what's wrong with these women, man. I don't know where it went wrong. I don't know if there was like some sort of substance abuse when they were in the womb. It's odd to me. Look, I think even the Democrats, it's a little bit odd, isn't it? There's something off with them. Hey, something ain't right. Something hasn't been right for quite some time here. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat here. Throat, stomach, knees. Barry bonds them. Yep. Dudley death drop. The wow, is that a WWF reference? The Dudley brothers? Or wait, no. Was he by himself or did he have the brothers? Or am I thinking of the Hardy brothers? When it was finished getting my black belt, I worked on becoming a Kali expert. It's with 1 or 2 sticks. There you go. It's beating the crap out of people. Cops doing yeoman's work there. Let's see what else we have in the news. Give me 1 second, folks. I had to get out of this section of the news and go to some other stuff. Now, I saw this one. I'm glad I stumbled upon this again. Because, you know how Joe Biden, good old Joey, was funding the Taliban? You remember that? Joe Biden was getting the Taliban like $80 million a week or something like that. $40 to $80 million a week, the Taliban. Paying for their entire administrative offices, everything. Who would have thought the Taliban have offices nowadays? Remember when they used to just roam around in caves? And they used to like, you know, throw rocks at each other to have fun because they didn't have anything else? No, they're not like that anymore because we funded them. We gave them entire military equipment now. We pay for their offices. I mean, they're like a first world country. Here we go. Bombshell report says British government knowingly funding Hamas with millions. Here we go. You just know. There's always something. And look at that face. This is actually a really good thumbnail picture right here. This, oh, fuck. We gave them food? A bombshell new report states that the British government is knowingly sending millions of pounds to the terrorist group Hamas. NGO Monitor obtained a British consulate general in Jerusalem document dated November 2022 with a plan for there you go. Oh, and see how my satire turns the truth? UK humanitarian support. I get it right sometimes. In occupied Palestinian territories, yeah, it's the same thing. Hey, we're just feeding the Iranians. Yeah, $10 billion. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. The document notes distribution of multiple purpose cash assistance in Gaza. Just replace this with John Kirby's words. Yeah, no, it's a multi-purpose assistance program for the Iranians. Yeah, we're just giving humanitarian aid. And you ask the question, why is their own government not giving them humanitarian aid? Well, their government's corrupt. Shouldn't they do something about that, though? Like, you know what I mean? Like, shouldn't they go figure out their own government situation? Like, if our government went usurpacious, do you think anybody would help us? The document states the cash assistance component will be implemented in coordination with the Ministry of Social Development, MOSD. The MOSD in Gaza is affiliated with the de facto authorities, and thus UK aid can be linked directly or indirectly with supporting the de facto authority Hamas in Gaza, which is part of a prescribed group. Since taking control of Gaza in 2007, Hamas, what do you mean? Hold on. I was told Israel occupied them. No, Hassan Piker told me and all these other people on Piers Morgan's show, Uncensored, and then all these podcasts. I was told Israel was occupying Gaza. Yeah, for like ever. It's crazy. But then this is saying something different, guys. That's weird. Because it says, since taking control of Gaza in 2007, Hamas has employed a number of methods to divert international aid. But I thought Israel controlled Gaza. That's weird. It's always contradicting, right? It's odd. It's really odd to me. Hamas has employed a number of methods to divert international aid by exploiting monies and material intended for humanitarian purposes. The terrorist organization expanded its military infrastructure, paid salaries, and cemented its rule. More disturbingly, this aid distribution and diversion was central in Hamas's preparation for the October 7th massacre, including the construction of tunnels and other military installations and stockpiling supplies and resources. So one could say that the English, the Brits, had something to do with October 7th. Hamas has exercised effective control over the MOSD in Gaza for several years. In 2019, Hamas appointed a member to lead the ministry. NGO Monitor notes, as of July 2024, Hamas leader and member heads the Gaza branch of the MOSD. In November 2024, the U.S. Treasury Department designated Hamad and labeled him a senior Hamas official, so he's a terrorist. Like, can we don't need to parse words here. He's a terrorist. That's what he is. Hamas-controlled entity with an integral partner in determining how cash assistance provided by the UK government would be distributed in Gaza. Isn't that just lovely? Oh, goody. Oh, goody. You know, when you really do go down the rabbit hole, you just kind of find out that like everybody's just funding everything, and that basically our money that funds terrible things is also being funneled for us to fight those terrible things. And it's just the war machine at its best. It would not surprise me, just a heads up, if that we were still funding something that's absolutely terrible, even under Donald Trump's administration, whether Donald Trump knows it or not. The reason why we've always done something like this. We've always done something like this forever, right? Ronald Reagan did the very similar shenanigans, right? It's always like who's the lesser of two evils? And then who of those evil people are you going to fund to either kick the crap out of each other or out of yourself? I don't know. So it's always something. Let's see what else we have in the news. I'm trying to find some good stuff for all of you. Patrick says, I'm surprised that the Democrat judges haven't called Hamas a class like they are with illegals. Give it time. It will come. Yeah, you might be right there. I wouldn't doubt it with the judges that we're dealing with all of a sudden. It's pretty remarkable. It's weird how they didn't want to speak up at all under Joe Biden's administration, but all of a sudden now they're coming out of the woodworks for everything under Donald Trump. I mean, the courts are just piled with paperwork right now from trying to test the Trump administration. And I think still, somebody asked me what I think about the executive orders under Donald Trump. You guys want my honest take? I don't like them. I don't like executive orders. I'll tell you why. It gives too much authority to the way it's being handled currently to the President of the United States. The President of the United States should not be implementing executive orders like they have been, starting with Barack Obama. Even I'd say under George W., but it's been really prevalent since Barack Obama. And I would say he's the one that kind of triggered the floodgates because people look to see what he did by extending the powers of the executive branch with these executive orders. And since everybody's like, well, he did it, I'm going to do it too. We don't have shared power necessarily in regards to those executive orders. I think what Donald Trump is trying to do is test the limits of, well, how much power does the executive branch actually have based on presidents? And also, well, we're going to find out really quick here in his first year of office what he's allowed to do and not allowed to do. A lot of people get upset with what he's trying to do, going, oh, well, he's authoritarian. He's doing all these things. Well, these are the same nut jobs that were quiet under Joe Biden and Barack Obama when they were doing the exact same thing, implementing in some cases the exact same executive orders. They didn't want to say anything with that. But all of a sudden, because Orange Bad Man does it, they got to speak up. I've always said it and I'll say it again. The same people that are on TikTok doing all these debates, they're doing all their own podcasts, were silent for 4 years under Joey. They didn't have anything to say. All of a sudden, they have everything to say. I mean, go down the list. They'll hound Trump on the border. Let that one sink in. They have the balls to come on social media and hound Trump when it comes to illegal immigration. They have the balls to come on social media and talk about the stock market under Donald Trump. They have the balls to talk about interest rates under Donald Trump. Everything they have the cojones for to talk about now, they were quiet about under Joe Biden. You want to know how I know this? Is because I actually take the time to go through their entire feed and try to find anywhere I can under Joe Biden's administration on where they talked about any of this stuff. They didn't. So all you have to do is just bring that up and it'll completely shut them down. Hey, did you vote for Joey? Would you have voted for Joey again? They're just as brain dead as Joey is. It's true. It's true. We have Bessa says U.S. can grow our way out of national debt crisis by focusing on economy. We will see about that. I'm not so sure. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent argued on Friday that the country's massive debt can be controlled by growing the U.S. economy. He addressed this on Fox News. Here we go. Get to a little bit of a clippy clip here. Enough of me talking.
Referring to the CBO scoring, I believe, which is tenure scoring, and it's DC style scoring. So we think that we can both grow the economy and control the debt. And what's important, Bill, is that the economy grows faster than the debt. So what I would tell your viewers to focus on is what I'm focused on, is what Secretary Yellen was focused on, is what is the total debt to GDP? Because we can grow our way out of this. That if we change the growth trajectory of the country, of the economy, then we will stabilize our finances and grow our way out of this.
No. And I'm saying no, because I'm not going to let you guys have smoke blown up your you-know-what. I don't like when people lie to your faces. You cannot grow your way out of this in the way that he's talking about. What do I mean by that? We don't have a numbers problem. He's referring to this as a numbers problem. Well, we could just grow our way out of this if we grow the economy. And when you grow the economy, that's more tax dollars, right? Because that's more people working, more product being produced. More product being produced is more product being sold. More product being sold is more tax. More tax means more money. More money means we can pay down the debt. Nope. You have a spending problem. This is the same advice. Again, what do? We always take it down to the what? The individual. No matter if you're giving financial advice to somebody, you're doing their taxes and you're going over their numbers, no matter if you're doing the P&L statement for a business, it doesn't matter what you're doing. If you have a spending problem, it doesn't matter how much your business grows. You have to figure out your spending problem because that's where the problem is at. I just smacked the mic. I'm so sorry. Are you guys okay? Are you okay? I hit you. I know it's our first time. I know I hit you. I'm sorry. It was by accident. Are you going to report me? Smack the crap out of the mic. Spending problem. So the problem's over here. You grow your business. Is the problem over here? No. The problem's over here. You could be accruing a bunch of debt on an individual level and constantly be making more money every single year. You could be spending more than you're taking in, but your business is growing every single year. It's a spending problem. So no, I don't agree with him. Now, maybe he had more to elaborate on that of, well, we're also going to bring down everything in terms of spending. Then yeah, I do agree with him in the sense that you grow the economy, you cut the spending. Yeah, we could start tackling this bad boy a little bit, but we have a culture problem when it comes to taking out credit and just buying things we don't have. And if you guys didn't see that video that we did last week with the tax accountant, the CPA, I highly recommend you check that out because people are not willing to buy our bonds. They're not buying 20, 10-year, 20, 30-year bonds at the interest rates that are being supplied right now. And then what we found was if you hit 5%, we're in big trouble here because people don't have faith in us anymore because we have so much debt. And again, the reason why I say is that you could take that down to the individual level is because the Democrats and these nut jobs that we've been debating on TikTok don't think that's true. Oh, well, you can't take it down to the individual level. The government's different. The government can print money. You can't. All these stupid things. Yeah, and then you have to listen to them because they wear cool aviators and, sound like Joe Biden. You got to listen to them. You take everything down to the individual. And the reason why you want to do that is one, so that you're not a hypocrite with yourself, but also the fact that it's a lot easier to understand things because it creates a personal touch in your life of how you handle your own money. For some reason, we give a free pass to government because, well, it's not, you can't do that. You can't bring it down to the individual. They're different. God, man. Wild stuff. Well, with that being said, I think we're going to cut it there. It is Memorial Day, folks. This is a day of recognition. Some quick things to think about here. We'll end off with this article. This Memorial Day, we should think about military families. With Memorial Day so near, I'm thinking of active duty military, their families, and our veterans. It's impossible to let this national day of commemoration pass without addressing the tragic statistics of military and veteran. I am not even allowed to say this word on the internet, but it starts with an S and ends with I'd. 22 veterans commit this each day. That's one veteran every 65 minutes, which is just absolutely terrible. A 2024 Pentagon study revealed another devastating statistic. American soldiers are now more likely to delete themselves than from any other cause. In an attempt to provide help and resources for our struggling veterans, the hotline here and organizations such as Military Awareness have been created, but is it enough? So something to think about our veterans there of getting the support and help that they need. The horrific stuff they've seen and experienced is unimaginable. And we must be there with them and for them. This is something I've talked about a few times on the show, that one of my passions is, I never served in the military. My parents have. So it's like, what's one way that I can give back to those people that I've served and help them in some way, shape, or form? I'd really love for the show to grow one day. I would need millions of views, right? Or hundreds of thousands of views a day, like John Bongino to do something like this. But it'd be cool to be able to create and fund something that can help veterans out and get them the help and care that they need. So we'll see if that ever happens, but that is a wish. That is a wish. With that being said, I hope all of you have a lovely day. Pray for this country. Pray for those that have made the ultimate sacrifice. Pray for Donald Trump, and pray that everybody receives wisdom from the heavens so that they can make good decisions and wise choices that benefits everybody, not just their own people, but also makes the world a little bit of a safer place. I think that's much needed. Remember, the power of prayer is effective. If you're not somebody of faith, I really implore you to at least have an open mind with the scriptures and not always look at the miracles and the supernatural things that happened in it, because the vast majority of the Bible, that doesn't even take place. There are supernatural events that happen in the Bible. You're talking about a very small fraction of the Bible. Is that I'd focus on the things that actually happened. A lot of people have this very weird connotation of the scriptures in their mind. If I could just give you like 30 seconds on something. The scripture is, there's an Old Testament, there's a New Testament, there's an old promise. God's people didn't keep it, so he made a new one with new people that everybody can be a part of. With that new promise, he kept it. Jesus came, he died on the cross for your sins, and you follow that. When Jesus was here, folks, he was a normal human being, air quotes, meaning like if you were to see him, you'd be like, oh yeah, there's Jesus. I went to school with that guy. Yeah, I sat next to him in school. We both sat in the dirt and we learned mathematics. We learned about the scriptures. We learned about the Old Testament. We learned about Moses together. Yeah, I used to eat lunch with him. His mom packed him a snack pack. He was just a normal looking guy, folks. Okay. All this theatrical stuff we like to throw at people. If you walked around the time of the first coming, you would have grew up with Jesus in a neighborhood. Like the kid down the street. Hell, it would be like you running into George down the street. Like, that's Jesus? Really? That guy? Try to think of it from that angle, where it's just a normal time guy walking around and people thought that, he wasn't who he was. So I just implore you to read the scriptures like that, and I think it will change your viewpoint of it. I really do. Well done, Brad. I'm standing on the good side. Don't help the devil, folks. We ain't here for that long. Ain't that the truth? Amen to that, man. Amen. If you're new here, let us know what is going on out there in the ether. With that being said, have a lovely day. I am off. And like I said, pray for one another. Take care, Patriots.